look, a shooting occurs in a residence with 6 occupants. Now, one of them is dead.
Okay, so we have 5.
We now have 5. It's like Clue.
Right.
Something with the candlestick. So officers arrive on scene and a firearm was located in the living room. Again, it's like Clue.
I like it.
Now, all 5 remaining individuals refuse to speak to law enforcement about what has occurred.
So I didn't see anything.
That's correct. Probably like a gang house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, or a drug house. So they all provide identification, so they kind of know the rules. They don't want to get arrested for non-identifying, but refuse to give a statement. Do they have a right to not give a statement?
They have a right to not give a statement. Well, we're talking about severe crime here, but initially, yeah, you have the right to remain silent. You don't self-incriminate yourself, right?
Yeah, and even if you're a witness, look, I understand that ultimately you could be compelled to testify, but who's going to make that determination?
Oh, that's going to be the district attorney's office and the judge.
I agree. So now, typically what I have observed, this is what the officer says, is throughout my career is that detectives would arrive on scene because they're not going anywhere, which so far so good. Yeah. And they would do GSR, right? And a GSR kit, what does that stand for?
Gunshot residue.
And they would do it on their hands of all 5 people. Now, let's talk about that right there.
Okay.
This may not be clear cut. I didn't find a case on this, but are you okay with doing GSR on all 5 people in that house?
So you've got, we had 6. Now we've got 5 and a dead guy.
Yep.
All right.
Serious crime.
Serious crime. And that's probably the first question here. What's, a serious crime? Somebody got shot. Someone's dead on the living room floor. You got 5 people that didn't see anything.
Yep.
Weird. I don't know.
Yep.
So now you're talking about trying to figure out who did it.
Yep.
The who done it. We talked about the clue, right? He was in the living room with the gun, but now we need the last person there. So in order to figure out if it's Colonel Mustard or not, we've got to do a little bit more investigation. They're not saying anything. No cameras inside here. So can we do this? Can we get evidence off these right here? And yeah, the answer is yes, because there's a concern. There's an exigency. We're talking about a serious crime, and there could be trace evidence, that gunshot residue on their hands. And that is something that is easily destructible.
Now, what about the probable cause argument? What do you normally need to recover evidence?
Probable cause.
And do we have probable cause here?
Not at this time. We've got reasonable suspicion that these folks are in here. And when you're looking at this, though, the underlying cause is like to get to that probable cause. Well, there's some concerns about the evidence that's going to lead us there being destroyed.
All right. Look, I like what you're saying, but we do need probable cause to recover evidence.
Okay. I agree.
So we have 5 people, and we know that we don't have probable cause to necessarily arrest any one of them. Not with these basic facts.
Correct.
Now, look, in the real world, I mean, look, you are on the job. You have a lot of experience. You were on a task force and all that stuff. In the real, not in the real world, but in reality, you're going to have other things. You're going to have people who, are have indications that they maybe had a beef with this person, or you'll have other people talking.
Prior calls at the house.
Some other, but maybe you pat people down. This guy has a holster.
There you go.
I mean, that's really going to be probably our guy. Things like that. But when you do have a clue type of situation where you really don't have anything else, here's the way it works. Okay, you don't have probable cause as to each of them, but you do have probable cause to process the scene.
There you go. And you got destructible evidence. Huh?
There it is. So So how many times have you gotten a warrant for a crime scene, but you didn't have specific probable cause for that particular drawer?
There you go. Of course not.
Right. You don't know if the evidence,
as long as the judge would say you can look in there.
You can process the crime scene. So that's actually what's going on here. You don't have probable cause that this particular individual has committed that crime. You have probable cause to process the crime scene. And you do want judicial pre-approval to process a crime scene. That's Arizona versus
Mincy.
But we don't have time to get a warrant for everything you just said, and that's what's going on here. When a cop, swabs your hands for GSR, that is a search under the Fourth Amendment.
Absolutely.
So you do have protection under that. It's just that you have PC for crime scene plus exigency.
It is.